This playthrough is rated M for mature.
Greetings and salutations, viewers. Vauldemare back here with another episode of Dark Souls. In the last episode, we were exploring Orlando, and we found an interesting painting that seemed to be avant-garde, or whatever fancy term you wanted to describe painting. It was very gothic in nature, and we checked it out because we're art enthusiasts. Just because we're undead doesn't mean we don't believe in culture and stuff like that. So checking out the painting, we were sucked into the painted world. Unfortunately, we are stuck here until we can either encounter the one who leads this land or find a way out. Anyway, I explored this place well during that, and now we're end up here. So let's finish this place and get out of here. Now, one last, I think I mentioned it in the last episode, but I thought I'd mention it again, is that this place is probably, as soon as you finish this place, this area is probably one of the best places in the game to Souls grind. I don't know why I let them hurt me so badly, but and the reason for that is that, well, one, I mean, even the generic dudes actually give a lot of stuff, but because of the fire bonfire here, it's these guys right here, the flanks, I think is what they're called. But if you have a decent halberd type of weapon, you can just like go in and just like clear them out. They drop like 500 apiece unless you're wearing like soul collecting rings or something, which will give you more for it. If you have like the Mimic Head and the Silver Covenant Ring, which allows like for improved soul gathering, you can get like, you know, like I think 1,000 souls from each of these. No, not 1,000, but you know, like 750 from each flanks, and they also drop like spears and leather shields. So that's all you can sell those to the Great Primordial Serpent. So I mean, look at that. I already got like quite a few souls just from that matter of moments from doing that. So if you're worried about your levels, or if you want to buy like disposable items and stuff like that, definitely one of the places to go to do that. If you find the painted world. Obviously, if you don't, then you'll just have to kind of worry about gathering your souls, soul grinding somewhere else, if you want soul grind. Like I said, this game can be beaten without doing that. Like, if you just fight everything once, you're pretty much golden. Anyway, the reason I came back here is because I'd forgotten to grab this. Whoops. Pyromancy Acid Surge. But that's more useful for PvP. Well, actually, I wouldn't say useful. It's more dickish for PvP is the word I probably should be using on that. Because it, if I remember correctly, it weakens your armor, so it breaks easier. So yeah, kind of a dick thing to do. But anyway, let's grab this body that we had clipped like way back over here. If you remember me cutting that body down, well, this is where it fell. Gained some humanity. All right, I have a ton of that, but it's still good to have more. Then we get a ring of sacrifice over here. Excellent. Now, if you've noticed that there's a sewer over here that you climb down. I don't want to climb down this entrance, because I think this puts you in the... Oh, no, this puts you in, like, the cramped spaces of the sewer part of this level, so I want to go the kind of the other way first. Oh, looks like there's a couple of players online right now. Let's go up here. Grab an item from this direction here. A couple of bodies, if I remember. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Yeah. Let's get rid of these guys. Yeah, I'm being attacked by Mr. Arrow guy from way up there. Oh well. Yeah, I can take it. I've got plenty of Estus Flask and the heal spell. Although at some point in the game, the heal spell won't be as necessary, especially when you get the Art of Kindling, where you can get up to 20 Estus Flasks. But it's good for the early game, if anything. That's why usually if I'm not playing a Faith build, I only put just enough Faith in a class just to be able to cast the heal spell. And here comes one of the most annoying enemies in the game, especially if you're not playing a heavy or a shield build, is, you probably all know what it is. Let's see if I can attract him. Up there he is. Yep, the skeleton wheels. These guys are just, these guys are nasty, especially if you don't see them coming. I noticed in later versions, later versions of Dark Souls, they're not as bad, but in this game, they're really painful to like mess with. Obviously, if you hit a certain level, it's not as bad. It's worse in this place because you can barely see them, and then it's even worse if you get too close to them. That you'll still get hurt by their wheel slash or whatever. That's usually why I like having ranged weapons, at least against them. They drop decent souls, but they also drop their skeleton wheel shields, which is an interesting shield weapon to use in the game, that's for sure. But luckily, since I'm playing like a heavy melee build, they don't hurt me as much as if I was playing like a sorcery light HP build, or the glass cannon build, as it were. Like I said, I mean, I wouldn't say they're super difficult, but you know, it's a case of here it's worse because you can barely see them, and if you go too far ahead, they might start like ganging up on you because there are a few of them in here. See, like that. Luckily, like I said, luckily I have enough HP, and hopefully I'll let him run past me before I drink an Estus. See, if I wasn't so high in health, I probably would have died there because that's what I mean by being really nasty enemies. And you saw how much damage I was taking by like getting just stuck next to them. I mean, well, yeah, I guess the 800 souls makes up for the fact that they do that much damage to you. I don't know. By the way, this place is completely skippable in this area if you don't want to mess with it. You just get a couple of nice little items for it. Oh, almost got me again. Yeah, they're tricksy. And unfortunately, this game, there is light sources in this game, but which is one of the reasons why I like the sequels is you can actually get a torch to just kind of like hold up and walk around with. But in this game, you need either a special helmet or a spear magic helmet. No, you need a you can finally open that door, huh? Excellent. We've opened our way to the boss. That's right. Yeah, I was just kidding. This is optional. You have to go down here. Sorry, I've been playing Dark Souls too much. It's almost... Yeah, I kind of knew that already, but I played Dark Souls so much, it's so easy to troll people, or pretend to, but... Anyway, going this way will basically take you to the alternate entrance. This one's probably the worst one to go through, just because it's... Especially if it's your first time, because then you don't know what you're doing, and it's so cramped with those... Because there's skeleton wheels in here, too. That'll get you. I think there's like one down there. I think there's one like past this wall. There's actually quite a, like one of the few times where there's like a ton of illusionary walls. One of my favorite methods to just draw them out is that if you know they're there, it's just to arrow them or at least cause noise so you can. That way they'll come your way. Yeah, like I said, dragging them out. It's worse in the corridor, like I said, because of their like what their weapon does. Yeah. If you don't have high poise or good shields, you're going to take a ton of damage. That's why I like the Crush Shield. It's probably one of the best shields in the game because of its stamina regen, but it's got decent... It's not 100% physical protection, but it does a pretty decent job. There should be another one down there, yeah. You can barely see it. The only reason I can barely see it is I've actually got the contrast on my TV up kind of high. Or brightness, I mean, sorry. Wrong button. Or wrong turn of phrase, as it were. Yeah. Almost got me. But my my beefiness of health will not allow me to get killed so easy. It should be pretty close. There's the annex key. That'll get us into another area of the level. Let me see if I was just making sure I didn't hear another skeleton moving around. I wanted to check the inventory so I could read it. Annex key. Key to the annex in the painted world of Eerimus. In the wintry painted world, there is a structure resembling an old cathedral. Its annex serves as a type of storehouse. I'll show you where that key goes here in a second. I just want to finish clearing this out before we go on. Yeah, right there. Which connects to another where we were before. I think the should be one. Is it right here? Yeah. Actually, I don't like two-handing it here because I don't know if I'm gonna get lucky enough to hit him. Gotta be careful. Almost got me there. Yeah, just gotta be careful, man. I don't know what to tell you. Like I said, almost died. They got pretty close. And let's see. Another area you can drop in. Oh, there's... I forgot what this guy dropped, but he won't attack you. You basically have to attack... Ah, dang it! Did I? No, I didn't equip Toxic. Or, I didn't equip the Toxic, so... Oh, well. I need to remind myself to go to that lady back in the future so I can get to refill that. Don't worry, I'm gonna go to the bonfire before I even consider going Fire Surge is what you get from this dude. Yeah, you have to kill him to get it, even though he doesn't attack you. This game kind of like has a weird mixed message when you think about it, because sometimes it's like, you know, I mean, you can play however you want, and you can attack any NPC you want because the game gives you that, but there's kind of like a set, I wouldn't say idea, but there's a kind of a set, like, a lot of players won't attack things if they don't get attacked because, like, some sense of, like, you know, it's like, well, they didn't do anything to me, so why do I need to kill them? Yet this game's like, you might want to kill everything once, at least not NPCs that talk to you anyway, but, yep, and this takes us back to the, over here, where you saw that, like, little, entrance or whatever. Yep, there you go. And we're back over here. So, and if we wanted to, we could go straight to the end of the level and deal with that. But before we leave, I want to show you where that annex key goes. Right here. There's actually a way to kind of get around this place if you're good at jumping. But it's, I mean, it's kind of one of those things you just have to kind of like trick the game to get to. So I'd rather just show you the official way you're supposed to get to it. All through here. Alright, this place is a little dangerous area because, one, because of these fire dudes, but two, those crow demon things. Oh, sorry, I'm just finished eating a while back, so I'm a little whoa! Yeah, those guys are around. Yeah, I gotta be careful about that toxic, you know, just dang it. Ah! Yeah, definitely gonna stop by the bonfire before I go tackle the end of the area. Man, guys are nasty. Alright, this will get us that item we saw a while back that was just kind of sitting in like just an area. Velka's Rapier. Velka. We've heard that name multiple times before in our adventure. Not commonly, but we still heard it. Let's see. Let's read it. As soon as I can find it. There it is. Velka's Rapier. Obviously for Dex. Basically, this is a good weapon for Dex and intelligence builds. A symbolic, powerful thrusting sword used by the Partner server Velka, goddess of sin. It is no mere symbol, to be sure. The Partner is an inhuman swordsman. And wields this enchanted blade with special sword techniques. But yeah, if you're playing intelligence and Dex build for, actually it's not a bad build. I mean, Dex is not bad for those who have less HP. That way they have high, high dodge and stuff like that. Ah, dang it. Yeah, these guys are nasty, especially if you don't have decent fire resistance shields or armor. I mean, I've got okay fire resistance, but not anything too crazy. And you also have to be careful here because of the, one, he's firing at you, but two, if we get too close, we're going to activate a couple of enemies that are going to come here in a second. Just watch them. I don't know if I've activated them quite yet. Yeah, I saw them starting to run. Yep, here they are. Yeah, these nasty things again. That do like a ton of damage if you're not paying attention. Yeah, luckily I can take advantage of the snitching through the wall, as it were. Hey, it's a solid strategy. If the game didn't want me to hit them through the wall, then they would have built like it where you couldn't hit through walls, you know. And I fell through the wall. That has never happened to me, folks. Wow, can I quit? Oh, this is the first time you see this game, so, actually, this is the first time I've ever been, let's see, I don't know if I can actually get out. I don't know if I'm able to. Like, in terms of, I guess we'll find out in a second. Let's see if I can use a bone. Let's see, it won't let me do that because I'm falling. Let's see if it'll let me quit. Yeah, we'll see if I, The game may have screwed me. I guess we'll find out here in a second. Oh, wrong character. Sorry, folks. That's my that's my Dex Faith build I made like a long time ago. Whoops, didn't mean to upload that. This is a weird episode, folks. I don't know what to tell you. Actually, it's only weird because because the game glitched me out and I fell through the floor. Like I said, that is the first time I've ever. Yeah, here's my Faith build, but that's not what I'm trying to show you. So anyway, I use the Great Scythe, probably one of the best deck build weapons in the game. All right, well, fingers crossed that the game hasn't completely screwed me. I don't mind if I die. I'll accept that. You know, if it needs to fix it to have me dead. So, oh, good. Whew. Lucky me, I guess. I assume they reset too. So, man, that was freaky. Well, let's grab this Dark Ember. Yeah, and you can see another Andre-looking dude. It should be popping up here in a second, right? Yeah. Okay, they reset too. Good. Whew. They must have patched that like a long time ago, because, wait, only one dropped. The other one must have died with me or something like that, or must have fallen through the floor at the same time. Oh, no, there he is. Okay. Yeah, let's kind of stay away from those stairs, but if you notice that Ember, like the guy who we picked it off of, it looks like another Andre type of character. Dang it. I let them get too far. Should have kept them in that doorway if I could. Oh well. If they didn't do so much damage, I wouldn't be so worried about them. Like I said, good thing I'm playing a melee armor build. Not the best build. The silver price. I'm trying to remember what that actually does. Some items and stuff I forget, like, through the course of the game. Dang it, she's killing me with her thighs! Thunder thighs, literally! No. Yeah, they've got some moves. Alright, should be dead here. You keep getting a few couple lucky shots on me. There we go. Anyway, Soul Reprisal, I think that's a... yeah, this is for specific... Yeah, Blades of the Dark Moon. This is another covenant we haven't found yet, but this is one way to grind. If you don't want to like kill players online, this is an offline way to do it. Every covenant can be maxed out offline, except for the cat one, where you have to go against people online. Anyway, the Souvenir of Reprisal. The Knights call the Blades of the Dark Moon. Punish the guilt-soaked defenders of the gods, and take this as proof of their conquest. It's in the air, by the way. The earless corpse of the guilty will be left behind as a warning to others, inspiring both fear and respect for the gods, such as the eternal mandate of the Dark Sun. Now, lore-wise, this kind of gives you an idea of like what this painted world might actually mean in lore sense. Obviously, it's not all the answers, but I don't want to fall down there. Okay. Not yet, anyway. Alright, let's grab a couple more items before you leave. Ooh, Miracle Vow of Silence. What? What the? God, yeah, these things are everywhere. Yeah, luckily I have a height advantage here. And the other one jumped away, so that gives me a second to, like, try to kill you separately. Alright, you're out of the way. Now, come on, buddy boy. I forgot where they... dang it. Thunder Thighs. That might actually kill me. We'll find out here in a second. Not quite. Close. But, yeah, these... dang it. Wait, did you fall to your death? I think you fell to your death. Ha ha! I love it when the game does stuff like that. Alright, and we get the Mask of Velka. This basically is the outfit that Oswald wears, and he tries to purge you of your sins, so gives you kind of an idea that Oswald may be a worshipper of Velka. I mean, he does pardon you for your sins, right? Alright, welcome back, folks. Sorry about that. I had a little I had a little interruption and glitch during my recording, so it stopped like abruptly in the middle. So I do apologize for that. Basically, what happened, I just went back to. I mean, after the little issue, I just went back to the fire and restored myself and activated the dragon. Oh God, there it is! Ah, run! Yeah, look at this guy. It's the same. Basically, it's the same exact guy we met in the Valley of the Drakes, except he's got a bit more movement than before. In the Valley of the Drakes area, he pretty much just stays where he is. Here, he moves around. See, look at all that crap. Luckily, I am a bit more powerful. He's a little tougher to. Oh, looks like I pulled a crow while I was trying to get back here. Basically, I skipped fighting some things to get back to here really quick. And unfortunately, in this game, if a certain AI just like wants to tag you, there's like sometimes there's just not a whole lot you can do. Like they'll just keep following you until you die. But anyway, you have to be careful. Dang it! Come on, stupid dragon. This is why I like fighting ranged in this game, because then you can just pick them off, like surely but whatever the word was, shortly but surely, something like that. Unfortunately, my bow isn't that strong, but see, like all big bosses, I could just sit here and just like pick them off like that. See how easy it is, and there's nothing he can do, and he doesn't restore his life either. So. Alright, let's see if we can kill him. I always have trouble with these types of enemies just because of like what type of damage they can do and everything. And because of his sludge. Gotta be careful here. Yeah, his tough is that even though you can get in, you have to be careful about his claw. Dang it, he still hit me. This is why he's tough. Alright, try to heal him again. Now, how much damage did I do to him? I don't think I did a lot of damage when I was when he hit me with his claw. Let's see. Where are we at? Oh, I hit him like twice. That did a decent amount of damage. That's like a few more hits. Alright, let's do this. Heal up. Coming again. Luckily I have my 10 Estus flash, so it's not too bad. I'll have to wait for his breath and then try to run around it and get it close. See if I can get him. Yeah, there we go. Alright, just keep kind of giving him a few whacks, and then when they start holding the claw, dodge away. Alright, let's see if I can get him to... Nope. That's fine. Really, the tactic is kind of just hit and run, really. I mean, I don't know how else to really describe it. Luckily, he kind of does that breath attack a couple of times before he starts doing his claw. Is he going to do that? Get him out of the way. I'll try to get him to breathe over here so you can get a few more shots on him. Like I said, not too nasty. You just can't let him hit you with his actual claw, especially if you don't have like an armor build. Then you're like, uh-oh. Whew, got lucky there. Yeah, sometimes they'll break their patterns. Not always guaranteed, but swing again. Should take 4 or 5 more hits, I think, maybe. Okay. Times. Dang it. Did he try to, like, crush me? I think he did, but it didn't work. Oh, and then he tried to claw me, but it looks like he tried to fall on top of me, but it didn't really work too well. Like I said, Dark Souls 1 is a great game, but I'll admit that there's, like, some, like... yeah, there we go. Got it. But Dark Souls is a great game, but it does suffer, like all good games, it does suffer from, random glitches, hit point detection, stuff like that. But anyway, for defeating him, we get a dragon scale. That'll be useful for the dragon covenant. That was probably one of the most annoying ones to get maxed out because of the low drop rate for scales and stuff like that in the game. That's why a lot of people will. There's his dead body, by the way, right here, his other half. You can't really do anything with it either, but anyway. Oh well, that's kind of gross in a way too. All right, anyway, let's get out of here. Let's finally finish this place, shall we? Finally see who the boss is. Is it going to be a surprisingly disgusting boss like these dragon people? Is it going to be a crow person of just makes you want to throw up? Well, let's find out. Let's get back to that. Let's get back to that door we unlocked when we went through the sewer there, and see. Got a few more people to deal with before we leave this place, but all right. Well, I mean, a few more. Like, there's a few more guards and people we have to deal with on our way here. Looks like we got some undead with blow darts, or arrows, whatever, and a dude behind that wall. Luckily they're generic, so you can tell that this was kind of a first world build because it has enemies that you meet in the Dark Asylum that can be killed in like one hit. Or not Dark Asylum, Undead Asylum that can be killed in one hit for the most part. But in huge numbers, they can be just as dangerous as the next fella. Anyway, yep, we meet one of these guys. I think they're just Steel Knights or something like that. Basically similar to the knight we fought in the fought in a couple of different places. One, the Undead Church. We fought him in the Sin's Fortress. Whoops. Yeah, I shouldn't have drunken it there. All right, he's almost dead. Not too difficult. Just kind of have to take my chance. Yes, haha! You tried to heal. You tried to do what I do. There you go, Titanite shard from that. Nice. Alright. Be prepared for the boss. Will be some huge, disgusting blob. Will be some quick, amiable creature. Who knows? I'm guessing a crow. The crow? No, not a Zemo. Well, I don't. Maybe, depending on the lore you read. But alright, here we go. We got our heals. We got our Essence Flask. Let's do it. All right, life bar and. There's no life bar. Aw. And whoa! Look at that tall drink of water. Hello. Hi. My name's Hidetaka. I'm a bandit. I mean, I'm a knight. What? You can talk to her. What is this nonsense?
Who art thou? One of us thou art not. If thou hast misstepped into this world, plunge down from the plank and hurry home. If thou seekest I, thine desires shall be requited not.
Oh, come on. We haven't even gone out to dinner. We haven't talked to each other. I mean, you know, you might like me. I'm just an undead. You're a huge Amazonian dragon princess? Hey, I'm all for tales too. I mean, you know, you're still human looking. Wait, is that all fur or is that a cloak? Oh. That's a fur, or scales, or something like that, but you got human body. That must be like a combination outfit / your skin or something like that. Look at this lady. Yes, this is Priscilla, Queen of the Painted World, a half-human, half-dragon hybrid who's basically been banished here because of what happened. There are rumors and speculations on who she is, who her parents are, and stuff like that. You find out more about her by basically taking her weapon and stuff like that, so...
Thou must returneth whence thou came. This land is peaceful, its inhabitants kind, but thou dost not belong. I beg of thee, plunge down from the plank and hurry home.
She says these people are kind? Did we talk to the same people? They might be nice to you because you lead this place, but they kind of tried to kill me at multiple occasions.
Thou must
Okay, she doesn't say anything else. Now... This is one of the few fights, I think, or one of the few bosses in all of Dark Souls history that will not fight you unless you provoke her, for the most part. really, you only want to fight her if you want to get. I think there's an achievement for, or achievement slash trophy, depending on which system you're playing on, for killing her. She drops her scythe, or no, she doesn't drop her scythe. She drops her soul, which you can get her scythe. And also, you know, there's a running theme in this game where if you cut off things' tails, you get their a thing from them. Yeah, you get something from her tail as well. It is a very short area. I mean, basically, this is it. This is all you've got to attack with. So, and this fight is a bit interesting because of like how she moves around and uses it. So basically, if you want to get her tail, you almost kind of have to do it like right at the beginning of the fight. Like you want to just put all your effort, like either have your high strength or if you have boosting spells or whatever, just get her tail like first. And if you're lucky, you'll get her tail like the first couple of chops. Basically, her battle is it's actually one of the more interesting fights in Dark Souls. She turns invisible. She's not herself like super strong, but the fact that she can turn invisible, and when you walk around this area, you know how I'm leaving footprints. That's how you notice where she's moving around. She'll move around in the snow, and that's how you attack her. But it's definitely more difficult if you're not playing a melee build because you might not have a good enough shield, and you kind of just have to duck around. Yeah, I don't like killing her because she's one of the few bosses that doesn't actively antagonize us. I will fight her, but I'm going to save that for kind of a special optional boss run at the end of the game. I probably should have saved the Asylum Demon when you go back there because that guy's optional too, but I kind of fought him at the same time. But don't worry, we will fight her and I'll show you how to fight her. I don't want to fight her right now. Not that I can't take her because I do have the levels for it. I don't know. I just kind of don't want to kill her right now. She's, please marry me. Oh, dang it, she's not going to, is she? Now, I like one of the first sentences she says, if you're here for me, you will not be requited. So she basically is like, yeah, no, Buster, I'm not, Oh, and by the way, for killing the Dark Spirit in this place, the Xanthos gear is right here before you leave this place. So, anyway, let's leave, shall we? Get a homeward bone for completing the painted world. Well, amongst other things. Now that you've finished it, at some point in the game we will have the ability to go back to certain areas a lot easier than what we've had in the first place. Basically, the first time you enter the painted world, you do have to basically go through it. Either fighting Priscilla but you still have to get to the end of the level. But after finishing it, as long as we don't rest at the bonfire when we go in here the second time, you can actually homeward bone out of this place. But if you rest at the bonfire, even if you have teleportation means, you have to basically go through the level. Luckily, since we've unlocked everything in the level, it's not that hard to like get to the end because all you have to do is run past flanks, run past that knight and those guys, and it's actually pretty easy the second time around. But yeah, we'll be back here one of these days. If not for anything, if anything, the souls grinding we can get for doing this place. But yeah, that's the Painted World, one of the more well built levels in the game for being one of the first actually. So. But we'll leave Priscilla in her painted world for now. We'll come back and gather our wife-to-be in a future episode when I do the optional boss rush of the game. So until then, I'm going to go back to the fire that sits under that statue, and we'll prepare to finally explore Anor Londo after all this time. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and don't go hollow now, you hear?